exactly Python is. Okay, so the first thing is Python is interpreted programming language. Okay, so after writing your code, who is going to execute your code? See, if you take a C language, okay, let me take a C language. I always compare with C language. Okay, if you take C language, after writing your code, who is going to execute your code? Compiler, right? Okay, so whereas come to Python, this Python code is executed by interpreter. Okay, I'll tell you what is this compiler will do and what is this interpreter will do. Okay, so if you take C language, it is run by compiler, whereas come to Python, the Python code is checked by interpreter. So you can call this Python as interpreted programming language. Okay, because the code is executed by interpreter. So you can call that programming language as interpreted programming language. This is the first definition of your Python. Okay, so now the next one is Python is interactive. Okay, so Python code is executed by interpreter, so we are calling it as interpreted. Then why we need to call it as interactive? Okay, so the reason behind that interactive is you can directly command your interpreter. Okay, the one who is executing your code, you can command your interpreter to execute some lines of code, or to execute your code, you can directly give commands. Like let us suppose I want to perform some operation. Okay, so I want to perform this 10 plus 20 operation. So you can directly give this command to your interpreter without writing it as a program. So if you want to perform this operation in C programming language, what you will do? You'll follow that program creation, right? Or what you will do generally? You may use void main or int main, and then you'll write printf, right? Okay, printf here you are performing on two integers. So you'll write 10 plus 20. Okay, and then close. And then save it .c and then compile the code and then run the code. Then you'll get output on the screen. Okay, this is the traditional way, right? To perform a simple operation, you're doing all these things. But whereas come to Python, see if you have a single statement, you can directly pass the single statement to your interpreter without writing the program. That is nothing but you are directly instructing your interpreter. Directly you're commanding your interpreter to do some operation. You're directly interacting with your interpreter. That is the reason we are calling Python as interactive programming language. Okay, and it is object oriented programming language. Okay, so whatever the operation you're doing in your Python programming language, that is considered as object and class. Everything. If you are creating a simple variable, that is also considered as object. For each and every object, you'll be having classes. So everything is represented in terms of objects and classes. So you can call this Python as object-oriented programming language. Okay, so this is a small introduction to your Python. Okay, whenever anyone asks you what is Python, you can give this definition. Python is interpreted, interactive, and object-oriented programming language. Okay, so next one is this Python programming supports multiple programming paradigms. What do you mean by this multiple programming paradigms? Okay, so if you take again C language, don't worry. See, if you take C language, in C language, whenever you want to write the code, you'll represent in functions. Okay, so without writing functions, can you perform any operation in C language? Without writing function, that function might be main also. Without main, can you perform any operation in C language? Yes, I need response from you guys. Can you perform any operation in C without writing functions? Is it possible? Just put a message in the chat window saying yes or no. I hope everyone familiar with C language, right? If I'm not wrong. Yes. I got response from Durga Nani. Okay. So in C language, you cannot perform any operation without main function. Okay. Without main, you cannot perform any operation. The C language is completely depends upon functions. Okay, whatever the operation you want to do, you need to use this functions. Okay, so you can call the C programming as functional oriented programming language. Okay, so in the previous days, these functions are known as procedures. There is no much difference between these functions and procedures. The previous days, people used to call these functions as procedures. Okay, if you go with the olden versions of programming languages like COBOL, Fortran, they the people used these procedures. Okay, those programming languages comes under procedure oriented programming language, whereas come to C language comes under functional programming language. Okay, so if you take Java and C++, these programming language comes under object oriented programming language. Okay, so whatever the advantages which are there in these different type of programming languages like object oriented, functional oriented and procedure oriented, all these features are added in our programming language called Python. Okay, Python supports all the features of these three different programming paradigms. Okay, paradigms nothing but structures or features, you can call it as. Okay, so these are the different paradigms which are supported by Python, and this is the brief definition about your Python. Okay, so this is about your Python programming language. Okay, the next one is why we need to learn Python. Okay, you may have a question like in the market we have different programming languages. Why we need to go with this Python programming language? Okay, I'll give you a reasons to learn Python programming language. Okay, the first reason, it is a very easy to learn, easy to read and easy to maintain. What do you mean by maintain? Like whenever you have to implement the code, you can implement very easily in this Python programming language. Okay, and then the another reason is it is having a large number of built-in or standard libraries. Okay, so if you want to perform some operation, you'll be having some library which is having the definition of the required things of the user. Let us suppose I want to perform some mathematic operations. Okay, so now my requirement is I want to perform some math operation. Okay, the basic math operations I want to perform. Okay, now my requirement is I want to find out a factorial of a number. Okay, I want to find out a sine 90 value or or trigonometry operations. You can perform these operations, right? So whenever you want to perform all these operations, you no need to go with writing the logic. Okay, you no need to write the logic. You'll be having a library. In C language, you can call it as header files. Whereas come to Python, you can call them as modules or packages. You can call them as packages and you can call them as libraries. Okay, don't confuse with these three terminology. These three things indicate the same. Okay, so whenever you want to perform any operation, you'll be having some standard libraries. The Python is the collection of standard libraries. That is another advantage of this Python programming. Okay, the next one is, okay, it supports dynamic typing. Okay, what do you mean by dynamic typing? So if you take some programming languages like C language and Java, okay, so whenever you want to create a variable, okay, we'll discuss all these things, don't worry about that. You need to mention data type of the variable first and then a variable name. Okay, if you want to assign some value, you can assign value directly. Okay, so whenever you are writing data type of the variable before the variable name, if you are writing data type like which type of value you want to assign to your variable. Let us suppose this is my variable. I want to assign some value 10. Okay, so let me give you some example here. Int is my data type. Okay, and I want to assign value 10 to my variable x. So if you observe in this syntax, this x indicates variable name and this int is nothing but integer is my data type and this 10 is the value which I'm going to assign to the variable x. Okay, so whenever you are creating a variable, if you are writing the data type of the variable, so if you write int before the variable name, you need to assign only integer value to this variable. So these type of data typing is known as static typing. Okay, whatever the type you are mentioning for your variable, here if you are writing integer, you are allowed to store only integer value. See, if you mention some character here, you need to you are allowed to give only character to the variable. So this is known as static type. Okay, so whereas come to Python, Python is dynamically typed. That is nothing but whenever you are creating a variable, you no need to mention the data type of the variable. This is known as dynamic typing. Python supports dynamic typing. Okay, and it is portable. Portable is nothing but platform independent. What do you mean by platform independent? The logic which you have written on any OS. Let us suppose now I'm using Windows. Okay, I have written logic using Windows OS, and the same logic can be run in any other OS. Okay, the same logic can be executed on any OS. This is known as platform independence. Regardless of the platform, you can write your Python logic. This is platform independent. And the next one is Python is supported for different databases. If you take MySQL, take SQLite, Oracle, NoSQL, whatever it may be the database, you can connect through your Python programming language. It is nothing but Python is giving interface for all the different databases. Database connectivity is possible with Python. And then GUI programming. You can provide a graphical user interfaces with your Python programming language. And then last but not least, uh, Python supports automatic garbage collection. Okay, so whenever you're creating some variables, if you're not using those variables will be removed from your memory automatically. Okay, so you no need to worry about handling your memory. That can be taken care by your Python programming language. Okay, these are the few features I have listed here. Okay, not only these 7 features, you'll be having so many features to learn this Python programming language. Okay, as a beginner, you can start your career with this Python. See, if you are from technical or non-technical background, you can learn this Python very easily. Okay, now this is about why we need to learn this Python programming language. Okay, so now we'll quickly go forward. See, if you observe, these are the reasons I have given. Okay, the next one, the companies which are using your Python programming language. I have given list of companies. See, you can see here, these are the different companies they are using in the background Python as their programming language. Okay, the most useful in real time. Okay, everyone habituated to use, right? Instagram, YouTube, and Yahoo, Dropbox, all these things, all these applications. In the background, they are using Python as their programming language. Okay, I just want to list out all these things. Okay, so next thing which we are going to discuss here is history of Python. Okay, the Python programming is created by the person named Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum is a person who invented this Python programming language in the year 1989 at Netherlands. Okay, and I will show you the picture of the person, and here we go with the person who invented Python. Okay, so you might think that Python is invented recently, but the Python programming is introduced in the year 1989, and the people started using this Python from 1991. Okay, I just give you the brief history of this Python, and next you need to know why he named the programming language as Python. Okay, there is an interesting story behind it. You can go through that. So, the person who invented Python, he used to watch a BBC show, comedy show with the name Monty's Python's Flying Circus. Okay, he used to watch that series and he is impressed with that series, comedy series. So he named the programming language as Python. Okay, he wants to take a name which is a very short and unique, and compared to other programming languages, it should be unique. Okay, that is the reason he decided the name of the programming language as Python. Okay, the show name is Monty's Python Flying Circus. He is impressed with that series and the character of that Python in that series. That is the reason he named this programming language as Python. Okay, and the next one is comparison of Python with C language. Okay, now I'll show you a table where you'll find the differences between this Python and C language. Okay, so I already explained what do you mean by dynamically typed. Okay, Python is dynamically typed, and whereas come to C language is static type. Okay, and then whenever you want to perform memory related things, okay, in Python, everything is taken care by garbage collector. Whereas come to C language, we need to handle our memory. Okay, and then Python. Python is multi-paradigm. Okay, I already explained what do you mean by multi-paradigm. Python is supported by different paradigms, programming paradigms like object-oriented, functional, and procedure-oriented. Whereas come to C language, which is a structured programming language, like the program execution starts from top to bottom approach. You can call it as structured or functional programming language. Okay, and Python is depended on interpreter. Okay, and whereas come to C language, it depends upon compiler. Okay, and the next thing is Python is slower compared to C language. Okay, whereas come to Python execution speed is less compared to C language, and even compared to Java, a Python execution speed is a lesser. Okay, and whereas come to Python, testing and debugging is easy because the code is very simple. The syntaxes are very simple. So when you see the code, you can understand what is happening in the background, and you can test your code and debug your code very easily. Whereas come to C language, it is somewhat difficult to perform the operation. Okay, these are the differences between Python and C language. You're familiar with all these terminology because in the introduction of Python, I explained all these things. Okay, so what are the IDEs which we can go with this Python? Let us suppose I learned the basic stuff of Python. Okay, so I know how to write the code in Python. Okay, where you need to write that code? Okay, you need some platform, right? So that platforms are given by different IDEs. IDE means integrated development environment. Okay, now I have listed all the IDEs which are useful for Python. Just go through that. Okay, so the first one is IDLE. This IDLE is given by the Python officials. Okay, I'll tell you how to install all these things in the next session. As of now, I just want to give an overview on this list of IDEs. Okay, and the next best IDE is PyCharm, and then followed by Spider, and then Atom, and then Jupyter Notebook, and then Google Colab and Visual Studio. Okay, so these are the list of IDEs which are helped to write your Python codes. Okay, so we'll mostly go with this IDLE and Jupyter Notebook and Google Colab. I'll tell you why we are preferring this uh, IDEs. Okay, but as of now, you just remember these 7 different type of IDEs which are useful for your Python programming language. Okay, so this is the introduction to your Python programming language. What is Python, why we need to learn Python, and the companies which are using this Python programming language, and the person who invented Python and why he named it as Python, and the different platforms which are useful for working with this Python programming language. Okay, so this is the agenda for today's session. Do you have any questions? You just let me know by posting a message in the chat window. So this is introduction to your Python programming language. Do you have any questions? Are you comfortable with these topics? Yes, guys, do you have any questions? So whatever the topics we discussed in this session, are you clear with these topics? I don't know who is Galaxy M30. Josh, Prabhakar, Suraj and Durga Nani has given their response. Prabhakar, are you clear with these topics? You cannot unmute yourself. You just put a message in the chat window saying yes. Thank you. I don't know who is Galaxy. And what about Josh? Okay. Why he named a name as Python? Because the person who invented Python is Guido van Rossum, right? He's interested in a comedy series with the name Monty's Python Circus. Okay, in that series, he liked the character of Python. So he named his programming language as Python. Is it clear, Josh? Yes. Yes, that is it for today's session. I hope these things are clear for you. So, yes, that is it for today's session. We'll discuss the remaining things in the next session. I hope all these things are clear for you. We'll meet you in the next session. Yes, yes, thank you all.